make sure that we came out and played with some energy and gave the kind of effort that we think is required to represent us the right way. And I don't think there's any question that our guys did that. Got off to a great start, and a lot of it was on energy plays. We made some shots, which always helps, without question, we're accomplished that goal for the evening. The difference when you look at the stat sheet at the end of the game, obviously rebounding was a factor, but all year long we've known that there might be an area that we give up. We can do a couple other areas well. We will still give ourselves a chance to win, and turning them over 18 times and getting the foul line, much more than we have, not a huge number, but a lot more than we have in recent games. Felt really good about it, and ultimately it came down to making foul shots. I think we missed maybe 5 in a row at one point. Maybe 1 or 2 of those were front end of the bonus. If you make those, it changes the game, and we keep the lead down the stretch. And so, but didn't make enough of them to do that.
Coach, how did you feel with the way your team came out to start the game? There was a lot of energy, and just you had to feel good from the start, at least.
Yeah, no, as I said, came out and great energy at the start, and getting 8 shots, which always helps things. But we're active and created some offense off of our defense, and that was something that we definitely wanted to do tonight. We've tried for several weeks now to sort of manage the games, and it worked against Kentucky, and that was great. But realistically, in the other games, we hadn't won unless we had gotten something off of our defense. Georgia and Florida at home were 2 games where we were aggressive blitzing ball screens, and we pressed a little bit more. We felt like that was important coming into tonight's game, especially with them not having a true point guard, and I think it gave us some really good things and got us going maybe on the offensive end, most importantly. So no question the energy was there from the get-go. We just ultimately didn't make enough free throws down the stretch when we needed to.
What else do you think it was during that period? Maybe how were they scoring? What was going on with your half-court offense?
Well, again, we have not been a good offensive team all year, and that's why we wanted to press a little bit more tonight, maybe create some more opportunities, get some more open transition threes, spread the floor and drive it a little bit more. We just went through a stretch there where we were actually pretty good offensively because we were getting to the foul line, but then when you don't make the foul shots, you come up empty-handed, and so ultimately you're not putting points on the board. And I think that was the stretch when that happened that ultimately hurt us.
You coached 2 leagues of 14 points. How do you account for that? Mostly not offensively, or they're playing more defensively against you?
Well, as I said, we got off to a great start. We made some shots. A team in this league's not going to go away. They were able to make some plays and get to the foul line a little bit. I don't know if anybody in here, I didn't expect to come in here and win by 15 or 20. We wanted to fight, put ourselves in position to win, like we had in all the other games, like we talked about earlier in the week. And again, I think we did that. We just didn't make enough foul shots.
It seemed like Alabama just played really loose, like they had nothing to lose. It seemed like that really dangerous to prepare for, just because they're not going to really think about things too much. They're just going to go out and play.
Well, I think we've seen it a bunch of times when a team loses a key player, and maybe it's because of a discipline reason or something like that somehow they seem to find a way to play with great togetherness and great purpose after that. And obviously that was the case for them. But credit them too. There were a couple of times where we forced some of the quick shots that we wanted, and they made some shots and finished at the rim a few times on us.
Were you surprised to be beat on that many rebounds, especially with them missing Green?
Just in general, that's a big number. I guess a little surprised. Sam's number surprised me. He had 1 at halftime. He played 17 minutes, and we've talked about before, as specialist Devin has been in so many ways, and it's so important to us. We don't have anybody else that does at all what Sam does for us. And on a night that he has 4 rebounds, then we're probably not going to look too good on the glass.
It's hard to find bright spots, but Ramon Galloway had 21 points. Lakeem Jackson played some tough defense. How were the freshmen able to help keep in the game at times?
Well, I think the freshmen the last 3 games have shown you, specifically Lakeem and Ramon have shown you why we're high on them and why we feel good about the future moving forward. They're young men that compete every night out and do a lot of little different basketball things. even down the stretch there, we missed a couple. You know, Keem was right around the rim getting his hands. He had two that he tipped that almost went in. One of them actually thought he got fouled on. But you know, those are the kind of guys that we will continue to move forward with and build our program on. And you know, Ramon, you know, him scoring the way he did tonight doesn't surprise me. We know he can score the basketball. I just think he's continuing to get more comfortable and made some shots tonight and played with a lot of confidence.
What are your emotions about a 6-game losing streak at this point for you guys?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think it's frustrating, especially in a game, you know, like tonight when you're at home and you come out like you want to, you know, you look down and say, gosh, you know, even with some things we didn't do well, and we just made some foul shots, you got a chance to get the seniors to win at home and break the streak. But you know, I mean, the bottom line is, in this game and in this business, you won or you lost, and we didn't. And I think the bigger challenge is moving forward, like we talked about earlier in the week. You know, not making free throws is acceptable. You know, losing is not, but understanding you didn't make free throws is acceptable. But if you give the kind of effort and work the way you want to, then you just keep plugging.
What was your thoughts on Devin setting a new steal record tonight here at home?
I mean, you know, he's a guy that is, you know, really good at that. That's a hard thing to do, and you know, guys that steal the basketball the way he does, or guys that just have a knack for it. You know, I think he broke Chuck Edson's record. You know, they're obviously different kind of players and different builds and all that, but guys that are going to steal the basketball just have great instinct and feel. You know, he definitely has that.
Devin having been fortunate in taking tough shots at the end of the clock. How much was that kind of negative all season long, 2 blocks in the second half of this campaign?
Well, I would actually disagree with you on that. I thought Devin got 3 great shots in the paint in the last 5 minutes, and they just did not go in. I mean, you know, 2 of them he was completely wide open on, and you know, they just didn't drop. One of them looked like it went halfway in, and then just came out. And you know, I think everybody's trying to force tough shots at the end of the shot clock. So I don't know if that's something different. I thought he got some really good ones down the stretch. They just didn't go.
Coach, do you think having this extra, the way this season's unfolded for a lot of your young guys, do you think maybe having that under the belt in terms of experience next year is going to help them going into 2010, 11?
Well, I think those guys getting experience and being relied upon, you know, much more than we had anticipated is obviously going to help them, you know, in the future as we move forward. You know, they're going to be had been on the road and been in situations and been in games and been counted on, and you know, those things are always important. And so, you know, I think, you know, that's a positive that you move forward with.
Anybody else?